Hello and welcome to From the Top Rope, presented by My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports. I am your host, Robbie Fox, along with my co-host, as always, the Rocket, Jared Carrabis, and we are here for a post-Royal Rumble edition of From the Top Rope. And oh boy, what a Royal Rumble it was, Jared.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to fill in some parts for me. I think I rumbled a little bit too hard, Bob. I didn't even get to tell you this. But at uh, probably 2 a.m. is probably when I went to bed. And I got up to go to the bathroom, and my girlfriend fell back asleep, and then she woke up and like put her arm over, and I was not there, and she was like, "Where the fuck did this guy go?" And she went into our bathroom, and I was in my boxers, sitting in her makeup chair with my head on the desk like this, and I had a bath towel as a blanket. I was passed out asleep, drunk, in the bathroom at 4:30 in the morning. So there's parts of the Rumble I'm probably gonna have to relive with you today.
I think that was the most I've ever seen you get after it, like that Rumble.
Besides the World Series parade, that's probably the drunkest I've been since the World Series parade. Yeah,
Wow, and I was there for it. It was a great time. I went up to Saugus and we hung. I got to hang out with the Dork Party, and I got to
yep,
say, delightful people, all of them.
yeah.
What a great time it was, and it was like
Mhm.
a legit part, like a good amount of people here. It was like a Super Bowl party.
Pretty much, yeah. There will be more people for the Rumble and Mania than there will be here for the Super Bowl, I guarantee you. Um, yeah, it's kind of like so the Dork Party, for anyone who doesn't know, is it's kind of like a super team of all the wrestling fans in my life. So like there's people that I met at Fenway, there's people that I grew up with from Saugus, there's family members, there's people that I worked with at Barstool, there's people that I work with at DraftKings, there's people that I now work with at Underdog, and they're just all like they're just, hey, you like wrestling? You probably don't have anyone else in your life that likes wrestling. Come on over here, and I just take these people in. They're all wrestling fan refugees, and we've just made this community that we all watch the pay-per-views together every month.
It's a beautiful thing. And everyone
Yeah.
brings their girlfriends or wives or fiancés, whatever they may be. And there's a funny dynamic there too, whether the fiancés actually like the wrestling, whether they're noobs about it, whether they don't know a lot about it. Like I was explaining a lot of the stuff to my fiance. Oh, this guy, this rivalry, when they show Roman Reigns looking behind Seth Rollins, I'm like, oh, this is absolute cinema. You don't get it. Like
Yeah.
10 years worth of shit. Indy's a big city for them. Like, going
Yeah.
into all of it. But great Rumble. We'll get into all of it. Great. I thought pretty good. Nah, nah, I won't say great. It was a good Raw after the Rumble. There was some stuff on Raw that was just meh last night. The promo that Jay opened with wasn't great. I didn't think Charlotte's promo. Ooh, I don't know what
Yikes.
happened there. That was
Yeah.
yikes.
Yeah.
But good main event, obviously, and like the way they ended Raw was sick. But let's start at the Rumble. Let's start at the opening of the night. We'll go through because there's only really four matches, really three matches to talk about. The women's Rumble kicks off. Charlotte Flair is the winner. She entered at 27. That was my number in the Rumble pool. I won the first
Yep.
Rumble pool. That was
Congratulations.
first Rumble pool I ever won. That was very exciting.
Yeah.
Um, Kind of predictable. I feel like a lot of us knew this was coming unless AJ Lee came out, and there was a lot of people holding out hope for that. Obviously, no AJ Lee. The surprises we got, Jordan Grace, kind of a surprise, but people knew she was coming. Trish Stratus was a surprise.
Yeah.
That was it, though. And the match itself, it was
Hello,
okay.
Alexa Bliss.
Oh, Alexa Bliss. Fuck, I forgot. She
The,
was the
the
biggest one, and
biggest
she got
pop
the
of the
biggest
night.
pop. What a
Yeah.
dope I am. See, you got to
Yeah.
fill in the gaps for me. You weren't that
Yeah.
wasted.
Yeah. No, but not but that was the opening match. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even know who was in the I don't even know who won the men's. The Alexa Bliss pop was the biggest pop of the night. And it felt like to me that it was almost too big that she wasn't going to win the Rumble. Which is like if you go back to Cena '08, like biggest pop, biggest surprise, and then he
Yeah.
wins. So it's like it's happened before, but I don't know. I didn't like I know that wrestling, the internet wrestling community, they're a bunch of assholes and they hate everything. So when I saw, they were all the dislikes on the videos of Charlotte winning and Jey Uso winning. I mean, with Charlotte, they stood on business on Monday Night Raw. When Jay came
Yeah.
out, you would never know that it was a super disliked video on the YouTube page because he got all the love. Like the most love I've seen a male babyface get since I guess Cody won the titles. But honestly, like I feel like Jay got more love the Raw after the Rumble than Cody did the Raw after Mania. Don't even make that face, Bob.
I don't
Like,
know
did
about
did
that.
Cody get a 10-minute standing ovation where he was standing there and couldn't even get a word in because the crowd kept cheering? No, that
No.
didn't happen.
That didn't
No,
happen, I guess. No, but
no, it
and
didn't.
I'm not trying to take anything away from Jey Uso. I agree with you. The response online is ridiculous, and I was shocked. We were all shocked when he won, but it was like a good shock. It was like, oh fuck, they're doing shit that's unpredictable that we can't see coming. There's videos from outside Lucas Oil Stadium. They put the yeet cam up, and fans leaving the arena are
Yeah,
yeeting and they're going crazy. It looked like the happiest time ever leaving that arena. So I
yeah.
think that was like definitely the right move. And the Charlotte thing too. I didn't really mind Charlotte winning. Like I know people roll their eyes and they're like, "Oh, Charlotte's breaking all the records, and you're just gonna put the titles on her." Guess what? There's like not many people right now that like can believably go against Rhea Ripley. If that's where they're going with that, I
Alexa
think we have to do
Bliss.
that.
Alexa
Alexa
Bliss
Bliss, but they set her up
could.
against Liv Morgan at Mania, and that's a good Mania match.
Yeah, it is. Like, because they're
Liv
very
dumped her over
alike.
the top rope. They're very alike. Like that's like you can imagine them on a poster facing off against one another.
No doubt. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But I think
Alexa's jacket was cool too. The
it was
Friends
very
for
cool.
Life, Fiend for Life. That was
Yep.
sick.
Shout out Bray Wyatt. I think with Jay winning, because I think I saw like Booker T. It was a clip from his podcast where he said like I think they're gonna go in a direction this year where it's unpredictable, because you had all the favorites were Punk, Seth,
Cena.
Roman, The Rock, and Cena. Like that was your top five favorites, and then they went outside of that, and it felt like that was the direction they were going to go in because it was basically what Triple H's first Rumble that he
Yeah.
was deciding on. So it made sense because but I thought if you were going to go outside the top five favorites to make a star, it would have been Jacob Fatu. Like if you really wanted to swerve people and build a star and be like, this is a dude right here. Jacob Fatu is the guy I would have went with because I like Jey Uso doesn't. You need to get Jey Uso to Gunther, I guess, at Mania. So
Yeah.
like I see the path with him winning the Rumble, but if you wanted to use this year's Rumble to swerve people, go outside the top five favorites, and make a star, Jacob Fatu is the correct answer. But does that mean that Jacob Fatu is ready for like he wasn't going to challenge Cody? He wasn't going to have a match with Gunther. So like the pieces didn't fit. So maybe next year is the year that they do that.
I think you're
But
right. Yeah. And
yeah,
and
so
they could do that next year. They could do it even the year after. But like Jacob did have a good showing in the Rumble,
he
as
did.
we expected him to. The Jay thing is super interesting because I love that they did it. And I love that they shocked us, especially when it was down to the final two, Jay and Cena. You sent the money. You were like, to the
Yeah.
person who had Cena, you were like, where it's over. It's absolutely everyone figured it's over. And we were just enjoying the good, back and forth the two of them were having because it was good when it was down to the final two and they're on the apron. They were doing the whoa, is he going to fall? Is
Mm.
he not? Them putting Jay over is huge, but immediately they go, he's going on to the main event of WrestleMania. And you just have to know, like, he's probably not going to main event night one or night two. I just don't think he is when we have all those names you mentioned that were the favorites to win the Royal Rumble. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Cody Rhodes as champ, The Rock potentially involved in all of this, Seth Rollins. I don't think there's enough spots for Jey Uso to main event one of the nights. There's certainly not enough spots for Charlotte and Jey Uso to main event. So this almost comes off like, yes, Jay is going to pick Gunther like he kind of said he already was going to,
Yeah.
and he's going to open up one of the nights of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad spot to be in. That's a great spot to be in. But that
No.
being said, it's like, should the Rumble be used for the main event of WrestleMania? This precedent has been set before. Del Rio in 27, Sheamus at 28. But it's just, I don't know. It takes a little bit away from the Rumble, I think.
It does, but I think wrestling fans, if you were to ask them, do they mind? Like it's some years it's Cody winning to challenge Roman for the main event. Some years it's Jay challenging for the world heavyweight title instead of the WWE title. And like you said, like it was what Daniel Bryan and Sheamus opened up 28 for the world
Yep.
heavyweight title. I mean, it was over in 17 seconds, so it wasn't even like a good
Yeah.
match. But I
Del
think
Rio
with
and Edge at 27 actually was a good match, and that was a Del Rio Rumble winner.
yeah, and so here's the thing. Like, yes. Jay, like I love Jay. I think his character is awesome. I think his charisma, his acting is awesome. Like all the stuff that he did in the Bloodline when he was a heel was, I mean, people were talking about why don't these guys win Emmys? They absolutely should have. It's still television. Why not? Like their character work was amazing. I think, the memes that were going around of like the PlayStation controller where it was just like yeet, super kick, splash, and whatever else, like spear, like
Samoan
laying
drop or
spear.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah, like that's all he does as far as like wrestling is concerned. So, Barstool's own Kirk Sheamus Minahan made this point where he said, he's like, I think we're now in an era where like guys' themes are over, not the wrestler. And I think Jay, you can't make that case entirely for Jay, but I think it's certainly a big part of it. Like the fact that he has like the yeet thing and the theme and everyone goes nuts like when his music hits, and the fact that he restarted his
They
music
wanted him to just hit the
before.
music. They were like, stop talking,
Yeah.
hit the music. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like there's definitely certain guys in WWE right now where their theme is just over and it's like that's why we like this guy is because the music. If you have like Finn Balor, and I know it's a bad example, but when he came out, no pop because everyone's like, what the fuck is this theme?
I felt
Like
so bad for him.
so
Like,
bad.
because that wasn't his fault. If his normal theme hit, he would have got a pop. People
Right.
fucking love Finn Balor. But
Yeah.
they gave him that stupid, it was like a trap rap song or something. It
Terrible.
was so not fitting of Finn Balor at all. That and the
And what's
Rumble
crazy is they
shines a
brought back
light on that every
AJ.
year too.
They brought back
I
AJ.
know.
Like he's been
His
out
old
of the
theme,
picture
yeah.
for months, and they're like, oh, here's because his new theme sucked.
Horrendous.
Sucked.
We couldn't
And
believe it. He debuted that at WrestleMania, right? This year.
yeah,
We couldn't
yeah,
believe it. We were like, what the
sucked.
fuck? Because he was another one that fans were like, all right, new themes aren't great, but he's got one of the good ones. People would sing along to that one and shit. Yeah. The Rumble shines a light on how generic a lot of the themes are now. Because a
Especially
lot
the
of the
women.
early ones, yeah, their music hits, and it's like, all right, we got to see who the Titantron says first, because we don't know who this is.
Yeah, yeah. I feel bad for the women. They have ass themes.
I thought you were going
But
in a different direction with that. I was like, Jared, it's a family show. Come on.
yeah, their themes are trash. I mean, I don't want to completely shit on Def Rebel because they did give us both Roman themes. They
Yeah,
did give
those are
us
good ones.
Solo. Like all the Bloodline themes are awesome.
And
All of them.
there's a couple girls that have good themes with good openings. The openings obviously being the most important thing. Like I think the Liv Morgan opening is like recognizable and people pop for it. I think the Alexa one people popped for right away. Isn't that still Def Rebel or is that
I
CFO
don't know
dollar
if it
sign?
is. I think it's CFO dollar sign.
Might
Yeah.
be CFO dollar sign. Shit.
Yeah. And then Rhea's is like a band.
Yeah, it's a real band. Motionless in White. Is that who does
I
it?
don't know.
I know it's a
Couldn't tell
band
ya.
like that.
Yeah.
If it's not them, it's a band that's very similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, the men's rumble overall I thought was awesome. Like truly like one of the best rumbles. You were a little toasted for it, but
Yeah.
I would go back and rewatch it because there's not a lot of surprises, but a lot of good moments, which is something the whole party was talking about. Do we want the surprises? Do we want the moments? And we got the moments. Joe Hendry being a big
That
surprise
was
in the
cool.
men's. That was very cool. People wanted to see it. They got it. He got a huge pop. He got a
I,
huge like moment. He got to hit a fucking big choke slam on the Miz, get speared by Roman.
I was a little upset that when his music hit, maybe I was toast by that point. It felt like I was the only one that clapped. I felt like I was the only one that did the.
Maybe you were. I don't even remember.
It felt like
I
I
think
was
the room.
alone. Matt.
I think the room was just excited about it. The room was excited about a lot of these
How do you
things.
hear Joe Henry's
Face
music
off.
and not do the clap, dude? I don't get that.
A lot of people had drinks in their hands. A lot of people had
I guess.
meatballs
I
and
mean,
Papa Gino's
I
pizza in their hands.
I'm sure I fucking had a drink in my hand too, and I probably put it down to make sure that I clapped for that moment. What are your thoughts on in the future? Because I think there's so much talent on the roster of because here's the answer to that. I already know what the correct answer to my own question is.
Oh,
They should do 40. They should move it to 40 because
40
like
people?
yeah, because we didn't get any of like the nostalgia acts. We got no surprises. Like Joe Hendry was a surprise, but like we all knew he was going to be in the
Yeah.
Rumble, especially when he won the TNA title. But they don't have the depth in the women's. Like you can't move the men's to 40 and
No.
keep the women at 30, and they do not have the depth to
Honestly,
move
though,
to 40.
I wouldn't move it to 40 because I thought it was kind of a breath of fresh air this year that it wasn't like, oh, here's Ivar and here's Eric and here's one of the Los Matadors, and like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like they always, and no disrespect to any of the names I just mentioned, but they're always trying to fill the Rumble out with like single or with tag team acts that you know aren't even single stars. Not like the Usos, Jimmy and Jay at this point. They're their own single stars. When they start trying to fill it out with tag teams, it's like, all right, it's not always a bad idea. Sometimes you gotta have a heel tag team run the show for a little bit, and that's part of the story. But it's just like, I don't
Or
know. This year had no
like
filler.
in the 90s and the 2000s, I certainly remember times where you would have tag teams enter as singles in the Rumble. They're in there at the same time, and now it's like, oh, are they going to turn on each
They're
other?
gonna
Like that's
break
where
up. Yeah. Matt and Jeff
like you,
started a rumble once. That was
yep,
great.
Matt
Yeah.
and Jeff. Yeah, there's been plenty of Rumbles. I think Kane and the Undertaker at one point were in the Rumble
But you
together,
but
and one of them
you gotta
eliminated the
make it
other.
part of the story, not just
Yeah,
fucking,
here comes
oh,
Mosh and
here's
Thrasher. Yeah,
exactly. Like, and they have to do that sometimes. So it's like
yeah.
I like that this year it felt like it was just stacked. Like absolutely. By the end of it, we're like, who's gonna come out? Is it gonna be Logan Paul? Is it gonna be Solo Sikoa? Is it gonna be Randy Orton? We still had all of these like big names that it could have been, even when they were down to like one or two names left.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was going to be the Ryback. Um, he, he
Honestly, when Jay won and Steve took the video, you could see me say it in the video. I'm
is there
like, oh my
31.
God, wait, is there 31? Because I was like, there's no way that they're actually just striking while the iron's hot on someone the fans love, right? Like, they got to pull this away in some way. I'm so preconditioned to like, no way can they just send the fans home happy here, right? Like,
Yeah.
this isn't happening. But no 31, no Rock. I don't know if we're going to get Rock at WrestleMania in a match. I think we'll get him showing up to maybe set something up for next year, but it's not looking like he's going to have a match.
No. And I think the writing was on the wall when he came out as the final boss on Netflix, but just was Dwayne.
That stunk. Oh,
I
I
hated
already
that.
forgot about that, and you reminded me about it. It was
Yeah.
earlier this month, or it was a month ago today, and I already friggin' forgot about it.
Hated
Or I
that.
guess no, it was January 6th, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember. It was the holiday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, why have him dress come out to the theme? Like, why not just have him come like Triple H has the game and he has the King of Kings theme. Like, have a fucking Dwayne executive theme. Don't come out to the
Jared,
final boss and be
what was
Dwayne.
3, 2, 1? What was
Don't
that?
know.
What did
Don't
that
know.
mean? Why did they have to main event with that over Seth Rollins, over Drew McIntyre and CM Punk in the Hell in a Cell, just so Rock could do 3, 2, 1? What is 3, 2, 1?
Don't know. And who knows if it'll ever be explained.
Drew McIntyre, another person worth bringing up because he made some headlines. I don't know whether or not to read these as real, whether or not to read them as a work or a shoot. But if you do watch the Rumble back, it seems that when he was eliminated by Damian Priest, they bumped into LA Knight and Logan Paul, and it was kind of like a cluttered spot. Um, happens in the Rumble. A lot of big bodies in the ring, a lot of moving parts. It also kind of did seem like, and I'm not a fucking ring general here, it seemed like Logan Paul and LA Knight, like the cameras were on them. They were doing the spot, and then they kind of rushed the Drew McIntyre elimination. I don't know, but Drew McIntyre apparently like stormed out of the arena, and they said the same thing. You brought it up the night of that they said about CM Punk, where it was like, yeah, he stormed out and said
Yeah.
someone had to get their shit in.
Yeah. I think now in the era of Triple H booking and being at the head of everything, they are totally leaning into like we could feed these dumbass journalists anything and they'll report it. Like in baseball, it's like you've got these people that went to college for like these are smart people. Wrestling journalists are just wrestling fans that gained a fall like they're assholes like us that gained a following on social media and then walk around like they're journalists. So if I have a WWE like executive producer being like, hey Jared, Drew stormed out last. Like you're not gonna like confirm that with other sources and work your back channels. They're just gonna be like, oh my God, like this guy like fed me this huge story. I'm gonna run with it. Like how many likes and retweets am I gonna get? I totally believe that that's what happened is maybe he even did leave early and he probably didn't go to the Royal Rumble party after party that they had. But is he furious over that spot? Probably not. But would it be crazy to think that WWE is now using because they show all the WWE streamers now. Like anytime that
Yeah.
there's like a big moment, they'll show the streamers on Netflix and whatever. So I think they're totally leaning into like we have this community of people that create content around our content, and we can essentially use them as uh like carriers of our story,
And I
like
think they've done that in the past for sure.
the
And
Kevin
there are
Owens and
some
Cody
that are,
thing backstage,
yeah,
like that
that
was
was great.
filmed by fans. They did
There
that
are
knowing that
some
people would
that
film
I
it.
will say, I know there's wrestling journalists out there, some, the very small group that do have their degrees and they do try to vet sources and stuff. This is one of those things I could see easily getting past that of like, oh, so and so said it, and then so and so heard it backstage, and so didn't know if it was a work or a shoot. So then it got back to someone and they were being legit. They were like, yeah, I don't know if it was a work or a shoot. So it gets out like that. Do you think Drew McIntyre should have a right to be upset if the reports are true that he's going to have a singles match with Damian Priest at Mania because he considers that like a nothing match?
Yeah, I think that Drew McIntyre has had too great of a. I mean, you could say a year. You could say he's had too great of a 5 years to not have
Bunch
a
of years, yeah.
prominent spot at WrestleMania this year. It's just where does he fit? Because I think for
That's what I was
me,
thinking. Like the when you say McIntyre Priest, my head kind of goes to like, all right, that fits in my mind. Like it gives them each a singles match on Mania. Is it a nothing match? Kind of. Like it's not a match that immediately thrilled about and intrigued by when you bring it up. But also, if they have just a big guy Hoss match and beat the fuck out of each other, and it's like one of those McIntyre, Sheamus, Gunther, classics, it could be awesome.
it could be, but what for? Like, how many matches has Drew had in the past year that meant something? Like, he had a
I know.
point in his past year where he made a bracelet feel more important than the world heavyweight title. Like, for
Yeah,
real. Like,
you're
that's
right.
like the blood feud with CM Punk meant more than some of the matches, than pretty much any match Gunther has had as world heavyweight champion.
So
All
do
the
you put
bracelet
Drew in that
matches.
match? Like, could you find a way to make that a triple threat? But do you want to do that if they're going the direction of Seth, Roman, and Punk triple threat? You don't want two
It,
triple threat matches like that on Mania.
I don't want to say it's watered down because it's not watered down. It's a little diluted right now where like Seth came out on Raw last night and he was like, fuck Roman Reigns, fuck CM Punk, but CM Punk's got beef with Roman, but he's also got beef with Sami Zayn. And it's like everyone and then Drew and now Kevin Owens attacks Sami Zayn.
Yep.
So or like everyone has beef with everyone. So there's no like right now we just started WrestleMania season and you've got baby faces who are beefing with baby faces, but then like Randy Orton, like he got put out by Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens just started a new feud with Sami Zayn. Like, where does it all fit? Like, there's too many pieces, and not all of it makes sense because there's heels against heels, there's baby face against baby faces, and then there's these love triangles like you have with
Yeah.
Seth, Punk, and Roman. Like,
The love triangle. Yeah.
yeah, like I don't know, like I don't know, I don't know,
I didn't see that
but
coming either until they set it up at the Rumble, and I thought that was one of the best parts of the Rumble is them
yeah,
getting eliminated, Punk going up over the top, and then the double foot curb stomp was fucking
ooh,
insane. The
yeah.
the one on the stairs after that, him screaming in Paul Heyman's face, Punk getting mad at Paul Heyman, like all of that was awesome.
Very, very well done. But all that to say, Drew fits in with the orgy over here of Seth, Punk, Roman, Kevin, Sammy, like everyone that hates each other over here, Randy. And then you Drew belongs in that because he's been like anti-bloodline. He's been
Mhm.
flirting with Seth and Kevin. So he fits in that bubble. And now you're just going to give him a match with Damian Priest. Why?
Yeah. It's because you need to find a spot for him. It's one of those like, I guess we need to find a spot. I'm
You've got
wondering if
two
these two
months.
WrestleManias they went to two nights and they made both nights feature much less matches. Now there's like 5 or 6, maybe 7 matches a night on WrestleMania. I'm wondering if this year they're going to go back to like a 10 match a night card because they have so many people that they want to fit on.
I kind of like the fact that we were at the longest WrestleMania of all time. Like that is like we'll never be they'll
Yeah, I
never be
like
able to
that.
top that.
And our clock, I feel like, extended past WrestleMania because we were just walking on a highway trying to find like a taxi cab that came out of nowhere, like we were in the Sahara Desert or
And
something.
had to pay the dude double to take us back into the
Yeah.
city because he was like, I'm not going back to
He's
Manhattan. I'll
like,
tell you
it
that
ain't
right now.
happening.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like,
You're
how's
like, we will pay
$200?
whatever it takes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I
he
just
even
want to
told
sleep
us
in my bed.
the compromise. He's like, I'll just drop you off at the Port Authority. And we were like, fine. Like, just get us over the
Whatever.
bridge, through the tunnel, whatever you need to do to get us into Manhattan. Yeah.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 35. If you were there, you know the horror show that it was getting out of that stadium.
Terrible. Terrible.
Absolutely terrible. Another thing I wanted to bring up, I Show Speed, the special entrance into the men's Royal Rumble. The way it comes out, and I had him in our Royal Rumble pool. I had number 8. Akira Tozawa comes out, and I'm like, all right, we're definitely not winning with Akira Tozawa. And then he gets attacked, and I'm like, all right, maybe we're gonna get a replacement here. Who could we get? Could it be someone funny, or could it be someone that, might legitimately win this thing for us? And no, they come back to Gorilla with the camera. It's Speed in the back. And I love the way they shot it all as like
Oh,
one
yeah.
fluid, one shot. Triple H is like, Speed, get out there. He's
You're
like,
in the Rumble. Speed,
no.
you're in the
Yeah.
Rumble. He's
Like,
like,
no, no.
what?
And he's talking to
Like, what does that
Stephanie.
mean? What does that mean?
Yeah. They sent him out there with his streamer. So he's still live on his own fucking stream, going through the curtain. He comes out, he dumps Otis along with Braun Breaker. And then Braun Breaker like gives him a high five. He does his backflip, and Braun Breaker hits him like a Mack truck, office linebacker style, spears him out of his shoes, throws him over the top. Then Otis launches him over the announce table. He like lost a chunk out of his leg. Did you see
Yeah.
that? Did you see his
I
leg?
did. I did see that.
Nasty. It looked like
Yeah.
it was so painful. That probably hurts like a motherfucker in the shower. The sting of that. Oh my God. But oh my God. I loved the entire celebrity involvement they had. I don't want to say I love Speed. I don't know that much about Speed, but I love Speed's involvement in the WWE. His RKO that he took at WrestleMania last year when he was barking in Randy Orton's face, and then Randy
Yeah.
Orton barked in his face and RKO'd him. He's
Yeah.
been great. This is like apparently the most viewed clip in the history of the Royal Rumble. So
300
yeah,
million views in 24 hours.
this is the way to do the celeb involvement. This is like, I feel like nobody was like rolling their eyes or cringing at this.
No, and so I don't like I know of him. I've never like I don't watch streamers in general, but I know of him. Usually I don't like celebrity involvement if they're not fans. Like I like when Jelly Roll came out and he like dropped like a choke slam on the Miz. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's like a fan. Like that's a cool moment to have. But I think the fat dude Mark, the time to play the game.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was pissed that Speed was invited to the Rumble because he's like he doesn't even like wrestling, and I mean, what a fall from grace, like the Mark
Yeah, I
dude,
saw
because
that.
he thinks he's
People
like
turned on him real quick.
yeah. I mean, they deserve it. Like he thought that like he should have been. He basically thought he should have been treated like The Rock at the Royal Rumble.
And
Um,
I think he tried to get GCW to pay him like $3,000 booking fee, just like sing one song,
and to like have like a limo
like car service or
transport him.
something.
And he
And
lived
they're like,
he lived like down
no.
the street or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're out on Mark. It was a nice run, great story, but it's over. And the whole thing about Speed, what he didn't like was, oh, he's not even a wrestling fan, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, okay, but if he has 35 million subscribers and he's streaming backstage, he is bringing in a whole audience of people that never would have been watching the Royal Rumble anyway.
Yeah.
And like I've seen it because I'm doing it myself on a very, very, very much smaller scale. Like I'm taking people that never even considered being wrestling fans and knowing like the Rumble is fun enough to where this could be a great entry point for you to become a lifelong fan. You just never know. So yes, like Speed's impact, no pun intended, could be very great in terms of
Oh yeah.
converting non-wrestling fans, people that never even considered being a wrestling fan, into like, oh, this is kind of cool. Even if he's not on it, like all you need is the
Yeah.
entry point.
And
Um,
at least he was a fan growing up for sure, because he had clips with people backstage. You could tell he was referencing things that happened in like 2010, 2011. And he was
Yeah.
saying, when I was a kid and I hated you, I liked you, or so and so. But the fact that they also had him backstage the whole night, Kai Cenat backstage the whole night, and allowing these people to stream. We've dealt with, going to WWE shows, going to UFC shows. It's not always, you're not always allowed to film the ring. You could film your reaction, but they don't want you filming the ring. And it's not even their rule necessarily. It's like they're selling TV rights. So they're
Yeah.
like, ah, shit, we can't. I wonder if something is new in the Netflix Peacock era where this will be more allowed, because I think that shit is really going to open things up. Like the Kai Cenat stream got millions of views in like an hour, and it's just him backstage hanging with the people, hanging with the wrestlers. Some people are kayfabing him, some people are just talking to him like he's normal, and then he goes out to the crowd and he's able to film Speed getting speared and then immediately his reaction to it. And people, I assume, as many people saw those clips as they saw the actual broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, hundreds of millions of views. And
Did you see the John Cena clips with them backstage too, with Speed looking around pretending like he didn't see Cena?
no.
He's like storming through backstage. He's like, "Where's John Cena? Where's?" And Cena's just standing there like frozen. And then eventually Cena just yells. He's like, "Ah!" And Speed like falls down, and John Cena just runs away. Really funny clips. Like again, I don't really know a ton about Kai Cenat and Speed. I don't watch their streams, but I watch the clips that I see on my timeline from them. Every
Yeah.
clip I've seen has been very funny. So
Yeah.
I understand why these guys are the most successful doing it. There's
Yeah.
also a clip of I show Speed the other week. He went down, I think it was somewhere in South America, maybe Colombia or something. He
Yeah.
went, they
It was
made
like
him the
Peru.
mayor. Yeah, they made him the mayor for like an hour. And there's this video of him like addressing the nation. And like the
Yeah.
entire nation showed up to see him talking at this balcony. And there's so many tweets that are like, this is like that one side character, like when you check in with the weird side character on a sitcom, and this is their side plot.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
There's like 25,000 people like showed up.
I was surprised we didn't get Kai Cenat in the Rumble as well to like throw Speed out or something. I was also surprised we didn't get Pat McAfee in the Rumble, being it was an indie. But
Right.
also, I know
True.
him and the Colts are feuding right now. I don't know if that was a touchy thing.
Are they?
Oh, big time. Public,
Why?
yeah. I don't know the exact details of it, but I'm pretty sure the broad strokes, and this may be wrong. If I'm wrong about this, excuse me. I think Pat criticized the way that the organization was doing some things. The organization came back out like against him, and some people were like, if you're not with us, you're against us, sort of thing. And then everything Pat said was going to happen happened. And then he put out this like pretty long tweet where he was like, this is what you get for doing this, this, and this. He canceled his season tickets. It's a very like big thing right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I completely missed that. Um, yeah, maybe that is part of it because I think he would have gotten a huge pop in Indy.
I mean, he did get a huge pop. I saw the video when they do the commentary entrances like before they go live. People
Yeah.
went wild for him still. It's like
Yeah.
Indy's definitely behind him. I just think the Colts and him are having like a beef right now.
Yeah, I could see that. That sucks. That
Yeah, it
sucks
does
because I know
suck.
he
He
loves
was like the
Indy.
face of the friggin' city. Yeah.
I mean, he kind of
Um,
still is. Like when I think
yeah,
of
I
Indy,
mean,
I
he
think of
is.
Pat
Yeah.
McAfee. Yeah.
Other than the two Rumble matches, we also got a tag team match, the Motor City Machine Guns and DIY. It was fine. It was nothing
I went
special, to be
downstairs for
honest.
that.
Yeah, it was kind of a buffer match. And we got the WWE Championship ladder match, Cody
Yeah.
Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. These two murdered each other. And I knew
Yeah.
they were going to. I know they're lunatics. If you watch their ladder match history, we were talking about it at the party. We were like, think back at the ladder matches they've had. Kevin Owens, the crazy Generico ladder match in Ring of Honor that everyone loves. The very underrated Finn Balor ladder match at NXT Brooklyn. He's got a couple of these. And obviously, anytime Kevin Owens is in any kind of gimmick match, he's probably taking the most ridiculous bumps you've ever seen since fucking Mick Foley. And then you've got Cody Rhodes, and he's just as big a lunatic. He's doing crazy flaming table spots in AEW. He's doing the thumbtacks. He's doing the dives off the cages, the Sammy Guevara ladder match. So you put those two together, you think they're also like close from back in the day, the Dusty stuff. So they're probably more comfortable with beating the fuck out of each other. And they went out there, they beat the fuck out of each other. This was
Yeah.
like one of my favorite one-on-one matches I've seen in months, just because it was so brutal. There were so many different spots that had the whole room gasping and being like, oh my God, like, what are they doing? The final spot, the Alabama Slam spot, was the most insane thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was amazing, tremendous.
It was up there with like what was that? The Selena Del Sol in the
Yes.
TLC,
Yeah.
which I was front row for, by the way. This match had me walking away from it being like, I wish that this was like a 3-match blow off, like a go into it with 1-1, see for all the marbles. We're obviously, I don't think we're gonna get that unless. Do you think that they'll have like a rematch at Elimination Chamber?
I don't think so, because of what they just did at Raw. Him coming out and hitting Sammy with the package pile driver, unless Cody's like, I want to avenge Sammy for some reason. But then again, I don't know who Cody would face at Elimination Chamber if not
Why did he do
Kevin.
that to Sammy?
I think kayfabe, because Sammy promised Kevin he would have his back at the Royal Rumble.
And he
And
did. Oh, he didn't knock him off the ladder. There
I
is a
think Kevin
shot.
expected that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a
There,
shot where Sammy almost looks like he's thinking about it. When Cody's
yeah.
going up to get it after the Alabama Slam, I think in kayfabe Kevin's mind, he's like, this is the guy who's been fucking us over. Like, he's the one that's wrong about all of this. Like, help me out, not him. Like, don't stand there while he wins the titles
Yeah.
after he
That did
murders me
stand
with an
out in my
Alabama Slam.
mind. As Cody was
And even
climbing.
just Sammy being out there, you know, like
Right.
when he went out, there was nothing that he really did out there. So there had to be a reason for it. And I think it was that. But like the shots of Cody standing over Kevin's like dead body, kind of heel vibes. Like they're leaning into this shit hard. That's not
Who
the
was
shit that a
saying that?
babyface does.
Yeah,
He
there
had
was,
blood all over his face. He looked like he was like a zombie at the end of that match. I don't know how he's like fine by Raw. Although he was still selling it on Raw. He like when he came out, he looked like he was like still concussed, fucking hit the package pile driver, and he was still kind of out of it.
Yeah, yeah. I thought something happened in the scramble there because it looked like he was bleeding, but he just really had a bad shiner from
I think
the
he had to
Rumble.
get stitches, and he might have like opened it up.
Oh.
He definitely, I think he had to get stitches like on his eyebrow, like right
From
below
the
his eyebrow,
ladder
kind of where
spot?
I think from one of the spots. I don't know if it was from that ending Alabama Slam spot, but I don't know what else one it could have been.
Yeah. I hope they have a rematch at the Elimination Chamber just
Dude, they
because
got to put the title on Kevin at some point. Like,
I know.
he is so goddamn good and the fans are so behind him. I think it would be cool if, let's say, Cena wins the Elimination Chamber and chooses Cody and we get that match, Cena Cody. I think Kevin would be a cool guy for Cena to drop the title to at maybe SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I think that could be really cool.
Yeah.
Imagine John Cena having the balls to take a package pile driver in 2025. Imagine watching that happen. Imagine his next like
The
Hollywood movie
studios.
watching that. Yeah, like no.
Yeah.
By the
I
way,
mean,
some people are editing the O in loyalty as his bald spot
I
and
saw
putting
that.
hustle, loyalty, respect. That ain't
Yeah,
cool,
that's
man.
that's
That
over
ain't
the
cool.
line, brother. He in fairness, I respect what he said. I think what was it? Logan Paul's podcast, he might have gone on and said, I'm just cool with aging. Like I don't it is what it is. He has no intentions of getting any kind of transplant or whatever. But go back
Well,
to the
why
buzz cut.
not? But
If you're
why
gonna
not,
give us
dude?
a
You know, like
nostalgia run, give us the nostalgia haircut. Give us the buzz
yeah.
cut. I don't want the Wall Street Cena haircut. Like get that shit out of here.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
And go get a fucking tan while you're at it. I
Oh, is he
hate
not
how
tan? I didn't notice that.
no, he hasn't been tan in years. Like the last
Come
time
on, Cena's been
no,
tan in the last couple years.
no, he hasn't.
Oh,
No, he hasn't, Bob. Go back and watch all the SmackDown Raws and PLEs. He has been pale as fuck
he
with
used
his
to be
with
like
it.
a tan guy, though.
Yeah. Yeah,
You're
Bob.
gonna have to send me like some comparisons, all right?
Uh,
Send me a
watch any Cena match from before 2018.
Listen, just for the viewers on YouTube, I want you to do me a favor. You find one tan Cena picture for me, and then one recent white one, and I'm gonna put him right here as we're talking about it.
Please. And
Okay.
and don't use
You're gonna find the pictures.
don't
I'm
use
not
the
finding the
prototype.
pictures.
Don't use the prototype because
No,
he was
not that
too
one.
tan.
Yeah.
Prototype was too tan. Give
He
me
looked like a hot dog there.
2013 John Cena with the buzz cut and the tan, and then this John Cena, this pale ass, pasty Wall Street haircut John Cena. It sucks, Bob. I can't get into
He had a decent showing in the Rumble, though.
he did, but here's the thing. I didn't notice it obviously at the time because I was very intoxicated, but the next day when I was rewatching the clips and I saw some of the feedback, fans were like, can he be serious for a moment? Like he's like jumping around and the overly animated reactions. They were like he almost feels like he's playing a father in a
But
sitcom.
that's Cena, bro.
But it's not like
But it is.
like
Remember when he won Money in the Bank and it came off and he was just like,
Remember when he was in Money in the Bank 2011 and he was walking into a hostile environment and he was serious. He didn't even
Yeah,
do
but
the
that's
hustle,
that's
loyalty,
different,
respect.
bro.
He didn't-
That's
he didn't
different.
throw
That's a
his
hostile
hat.
environment. This is a
hostile
celebration.
environment, the
Hey,
Royal
Stu, it's the
Rumble,
last time. My
you're-
last Royal Rumble, Stu. Look at those
He-
goosebumps on my arm.
But he's in the ring with Roman Reigns, the tribal chief version of Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and his arch rival CM Punk. He's in the ring with Punk for the first time, a stare down, and he's hopping around like Bugs Bunny.
And
I
guess what? He's gonna regret that. I think that was a kayfabe mistake. It's like he's not taking this shit seriously enough. He thinks he's on this fun dandy retirement tour. He gets his ass tossed by Jey Uso, someone
Yeah,
that 10 years ago he would have spit in the face of in
yeah.
terms of, you know, you think Jey Uso is going to throw me out of the Royal Rumble last? Like, I think it's one of those things. He came out at the Royal Rumble, cut a great promo in the post show, whatever, where he's like, I'm declared for the Elimination Chamber. Now he's got to lock in. He's got to go back to the old me. And Punk even said to Chael Sonnen and DC, he's like, if I would have booked the Rumble, I would have had me and Cena last, and I would have had Cena throw my ass out. And I was like, oh, damn, that would have been good. At the same time, giving Jey Uso the Rumble rub and having that be the last two at the Elimination Chamber, now that's intriguing to me. And it
Mm.
could make sense where if Punk and Cena are the final two in the chamber, you let them cook. You let them have fucking 10, 15 minutes by themselves. And you have Cena go over. Now Punk needs to get on WrestleMania and he doesn't have an avenue there. Oh, wait, he does. Paul Heyman owes him a favor. So
Hmm.
he demands his way into that WrestleMania main event. Then triple threat, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. Maybe that night you have Heyman like with Punk. And I think Roman goes over in that triple threat if you do that triple threat.
Could be. Yeah. I think one of the thoughts that I had last night watching Raw, just the main event being Sami Zayn versus CM Punk. I was just sitting there probably, I don't know, 7 minutes into the match being like, I can't believe it's 2025 and I'm watching CM Punk main eventing Monday Night Raw against Sami Zayn.
Yep.
Just like no disrespect to Sammy, he is like, I know the angle is you're not on my level. Like they're on similar levels. It's not like
They're on the same level.
well, when he had the match against Seth on the debut of Netflix on Raw,
Mhm.
that Raw felt like a pay-per-view. So I
Definitely.
wasn't sitting there being like, wow, like I can't believe I'm watching Punk on Monday Night Raw main event. Like that felt like a pay-per-view. But to just have Punk in a singles match on Monday Night Raw in 2025, I
It's
was like,
nice.
wow. I was just appreciating it. I was just appreciating the fact that I had it. Didn't care if he went over. I was just watching it being
You know
like,
what's funny
man,
is I had that last week with Rey Mysterio versus Kofi Kingston. I swear to God, sitting there watching Rey versus Kofi Kingston going, I know this match really means nothing, but I just can't believe I'm still watching Rey Mysterio wrestle. Like he's
yeah,
just going out there and having matches like he's one of the like he's one of the young guys. Even in the Royal Rumble, I mean, Penta fucked up and double
yeah.
foot touched like two
Hmm.
seconds into the match.
Yeah,
But the fact that we got to watch Rey Mysterio and Penta open the Rumble, I was like, this is fucking cool. And I
pretty
saw
cool.
someone posted a video of Rey getting more lasers on his knee. They were like, he's gonna be doing this till he's 90.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even just like the spot where like Logan pulled Ray out of the ring last night and he was just like
Yeah,
face planted on the mat.
yeah.
I'm like, this man is 50.
And
This
and he's
man,
still taking crazy shit like that. Yeah.
yeah,
And he
like
still
he's
moves like he's fucking in his 30s. Some of
yeah,
his Hurricane Ranas and shit. Also, I love Jay Uso pulled out a Poison Rana, like the reverse one in the Rumble. They were like,
yeah,
he's like beating the two move allegations or whatever. He's
yeah,
like, I'm pulling out a third tonight. I also
yeah.
like the video. It broke kayfabe, but seeing Jimmy and Jacob greeting him backstage was fucking pretty cool.
Jacob in a Yeet t-shirt.
I know.
Yeah,
Showing like how much he's loving the family. Put the flowers on him. I don't know if that's the Ula Fala. I don't think that
no,
is. I think
it's
it's
different.
different.
Yeah, it's different. You got to know your Ulafali history, Bob.
Yeah.
Did you see the video from last year's Royal Rumble where Jacob Fatu was
In the
just in the
crowd,
crowd and he
losing
was
his
like,
mind.
yeah, he was
With
yeeting
with
to
was he with
Jay's theme.
Zilla? Is that
I
who
don't
he
know if
was
he was
with?
with Zilla, but Zilla's in the crowd to this day. Like he'll just go to
Yeah.
the shows even now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jacob was just in the crowd yeeting to Jay's theme.
He's basically doing his fucking dance in the crowd too.
Yeah,
And by the way, that was huge when he's doing that in the Rumble. They had some great moments like the Yeet versus Yeah, the LA Knight Jay going back and forth and they're each hitting their thing. Jacob, when he's doing every time he gets hit by Roman, he fucking does the little thing and goes and hits. Another good Rumble moment, very underrated, didn't really get talked about enough. Braun Breaker hitting Roman Reigns with an amazing spear and Roman
yeah.
selling the fuck out of it. Like that was a moment. Everyone in the crowd, oh my God, Heyman had a great reaction on the outside. Then unfortunately kind of got forgot after the match. How did you feel?
Well, did you see the nod that they made, the Braun Breaker Roman moment, where Braun spears Roman,
Yep.
and then Braun goes to throw out Roman, and he does like the pirouette and throws Braun
He
over.
turns. Yeah.
That's
What is that
how
familiar from?
that is how Batista eliminated Roman in the Rumble.
You're right.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Roman learned from his mistakes there.
Yep.
I like that. I was going to say, how do you feel now that we're a few days later? You're not intoxicated. I know you were
Hmm.
very upset the night of
Yeah.
about the decision to have Logan Paul eliminate CM Punk.
I said that.
No, no, no. You were upset about it, but how
Oh,
do
I
you
didn't
feel about
know.
it now?
I did not remember that. I did.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
did that. So that all right. That's news to sober Jared. I didn't know that Logan Paul eliminated CM Punk.
Yeah.
So you're getting a fresh reaction right now. Uh, it's whatever. I mean, I think I was more just upset that Punk got eliminated
Yeah, you
rather
were. I
than
mean, you were
Logan.
riding or dying. At that point, you were so drunk that kayfabe went out the window, and this was a
This is
legitimate
real to
sporting
me,
event.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to Nate about it, and we were both agreeing that it's like you set up the thing with Sammy. You're not on my level. It would have been nice to have Sammy toss him. At the same time, if Sammy tosses CM Punk, boos come down, I think. And
Ooh,
Sammy doesn't deserve those boos. They're not necessarily even directed towards Sammy. It's just people love CM Punk. So I
they do.
think you almost have to have a shit heel eliminate CM Punk. I think it almost has to be a Logan Paul, or you could have Jacob Fatu. You could have like a big badass heel, or you could have like a Dominic Mysterio.
Braun Breaker.
Braun could have done it as well. Yeah.
Braun's a tweener right now because he's clearly a heel, but every time he pops up on camera, you get the dog barks.
Yeah. And also, was his gear, the numbers on it, was that Steiner math gear?
I didn't notice that, but that would be very funny if it was.
Yeah, yeah. I think it might have been. I don't know. I couldn't tell. Rich Callahan brought that up, and that was his idea. And I was like, I can't tell, but I need it to be. Also,
Yeah.
there was a sign in the crowd that said like Sopranos season 3, episode 7, and had like an exact timestamp of like it's just a funny moment in The Sopranos where Uncle June like he tries to start a blender without the cap on it. So he fucking goes every he's like, oh motherfucking bitch. He's like he's just so
That's
upset
what the
about it.
clip was?
That's what the fucking sign in the crowd said. They're trying to have more people bring signs, by the way. Have you seen that?
They have sign stations at the arenas now.
Yes. The arenas and the airport, the Indy airport had a sign station when you
Oh,
arrived. How about that?
interesting. I bet you that's just Triple H being like, yeah, remember back in the day when everyone had fucking signs? There were signs everywhere. Like, let's
Looks
bring that
great
back.
on TV. It's also very fun. Like as a kid, I remember making signs as a show. That being said, I mean, just the worst when you're there live and someone pulls up a sign in front of
And you
you and
can't see shit. Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
Jay or Jimmy? I can't tell.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely miss the signs. That was an event back in the 90s, the late 90s when everybody had a sign. They were
And
all
some of the signs were just like Eric Cartman. And it's just
yeah.
like, all right, that's just a sign you want to get on TV. A lot of the
Some of
signs,
them
sometimes you
were
bring a
just
generic one. You bring a generic "you suck," and you're like, I'm sure
Kane.
I'll see someone I hate.
Yeah. Some of them were just gay slurs.
A
And
lot
then
of them in the '90s. A lot of
hmm
them. Yeah,
yeah,
they
you could
weren't
just do
confiscated
that.
either. They were welcomed,
No.
encouraged actually.
Yeah, USA
No, it
Network
was
was
just like,
like, let's zoom
ah,
in on
great
that.
gold dust sign, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
those were the days. You could just bring whatever sign you wanted. I remember I was at the Raw where Vince McMahon revealed himself and was like, it was me, Austin. It was me all along,
I'm sure
Austin.
you would. I'm sure you've told me that before, but like that
Oh, front
surprises me
row.
that you were actually there. Holy shit!
Front row. Yeah, I've sent you the
Was little
video
Jared
where
shocked?
uh yeah, yeah, but I mean like that was the night that Big Show chokeslammed The Undertaker through the ring.
Oh, great,
Um
great moment.
can I send you those videos and you can put them up here? They're like
I don't.
super they're
I don't know
super
if I'm
zoomed
allowed. Will
in.
WWE get me
No, because it's
copyright?
literally it's cropped to just
Oh,
me.
then yeah, yeah. Then I'll put him in
Yeah.
here.
So,
Yeah, yeah,
so I'm in the crowd and I think like X-Pac's music hits and I'm just like like
yeah. I think yeah, I
uh
do remember that. I do remember seeing that.
and then I want to say there was another point where I think like Undertaker or Big Show's coming out and I have Mr. Sacco on my hand and I'm just waving Mr. Sacco. Um and then I think Kane Kane goes to like choke slam someone, he gets like the wrap around their neck, and I'm just like, yeah, yes. Like just, I mean, had the fucking time of my life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would have been June 99.
Would have been a month before my first birthday.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you weren't watching live. You didn't see me. You didn't
No,
see
no,
me
I
on
wasn't
USA
watching
Network.
live. Actually, I could have been watching live if like my brother was watching live and I was in the room. But that's really the only chance
Yeah.
I had at seeing that live. Yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely wasn't like, oh, that's my future like podcast co-host, The
Tag
Rocket,
team
right
partner.
there.
Yeah.
Tag team partner. Yeah, no.
Mhm.
Is there anything else from the Rumble or the Raw after that we're forgetting? Anything leading into WrestleMania that we want to touch on? Like Elimination Chamber, obviously huge. Toronto, it's going to be awesome.
Yep.
I think the chamber match itself is going to be absolutely stacked.
Who do you think is going to qualify? Who was the other qualifying match? It was didn't they announce one for SmackDown?
They did. I could find it on Twitter, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can't remember who the other qualifying match was, but I know like Punk is in and Cena. I hate how that was the other thing that I was saying when everyone was over for the Rumble. I was like, why can you just declare for the Rumble and only 15 people do it? Because if you win it, you get to challenge for any title at WrestleMania, and you can just say, I'm doing it. But for the Elimination Chamber, you have to qualify. Like, why
That's
wouldn't
right. And well,
every
Punk
guy on
pointed
the
that out
roster
too.
just, yeah, like, why wouldn't every guy on the roster be like, oh, I'm going to be in the
I'm in.
Rumble?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we have next week Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio.
that's
Logan
what it
Paul
is.
will obviously be going over there.
Yeah.
But also I think Dominic told Finn Balor that he got him a qualifier match,
Yes.
right? So I could see Finn. I mean, I could see Finn losing a qualifier as well to, someone else, but I could see Finn getting in that match. That'll be fucking stacked. I will admit the new chamber is meh. It's still
Mm,
mid to me in
yeah.
relation to like the old chamber, and I know
Mm.
it's way better on everyone's bodies, and I'm for preserving the wrestlers, but just not having like the
The
steel grate
chains.
slam and the
Yeah.
chains. Yeah, like it's just like plexiglass now. It's like
Yeah.
all right, but
And they
I'll
have
get
mats
excited
on the
for it with
outside.
the amount of names involved this year. I'll get excited for it. I don't know what Cody Rhodes is gonna do unless it's like a tag team thing. I don't know what you do
Also,
with that.
the one thing that we're leaving out here is they are kayfabing an injury for Roman where he's out for the foreseeable future. So
I
are
saw
they?
that coming as soon as he got stomped twice.
Yeah, but like, is that devastating enough to miss Elimination Chamber?
Bro, he got double foot stomped. Like
He
the
got
two
double foot
two
stomped
feet.
on a
Nobody. That's
mat,
never happened
on
to
a mat,
anybody.
on a
But
mat.
but they say that they act like kayfabe. The mats in the outside are like more painful than the ring, which they actually are.
I guess.
No give on them. It's just concrete under that mat
Well, he got stomped on the stairs too.
on the stairs as well.
Yeah.
And then did you see the video of him getting like taken out through the crowd?
Roman?
Yeah.
No.
Bro, you got to see this video. It's so funny. He looks drunk as fuck, and he looks like you.
Well, because his hair is like up and over
And he's like,
here.
Where? What? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?" And he keeps looking back to the ring. He's like, I gotta go back to the ring. And they're like, no, 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 Roman, you can't.
No, yeah.
But he's
Bedtime.
totally like kayfabing through the crowd. That was funny. And seeing Speed, they put Speed in a golf cart
I
and
did
they
see
took
that.
him through, and he like turned his stream off all angry. He's like, I'm never coming back to WWE again. That was all really funny stuff. Yeah, overall, good Rumble. Only 4 matches on the card. I probably would have, if I were booking, I would have taken the tag team match off the card and put in like an IC or US title match in its place.
Yeah.
The tag team match was just like, it was but we all knew it was a buffer, and it was 2 out of 3 falls as well. So it went on for a little bit longer than it should have. It was a fine match. There's nothing bad about it, but it was just like,
Yeah.
there's nothing notable about it. And I'm
That was
excited
my,
for
that was my
WrestleMania.
piss break.
We're in this unpredictable era of WrestleMania. Like you said, we don't really know. Everyone's feuding with everyone right now. We don't know what direction they're going to go. There's a lot of directions that they can go, a lot of directions that are exciting as well. I'm down for the Jey Uso thing. I know people are shitting on it. Don't think he's going to main event WrestleMania. I got shit for that too. When I said that on Twitter, like I think he'll open, people were like, you think he's going to win the Royal Rumble and open WrestleMania? It's like, yeah, it's happened before. Why would that be so crazy?
Yeah. I'm with you 100%. Like that was
And
'Cause you
also,
have to.
opening WrestleMania with the Yeet entrance would be a fucking huge moment to open. Like, that would have the whole
Correct.
crowd going nuts for the opening of
Correct.
WrestleMania. They want those moments.
That's why I mentioned Kirk's point about the theme being over,
Yes.
because you open it with WrestleMania.
My dozen partner, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
I'm on Team Minahan.
Are you really?
It's me, Clemmer, and Kirk. Team Minahan, officially.
Let's see how long you last. I don't
Come
know.
on, don't say that.
No, I mean,
We're
it's just
we're
I'm
like
looking at
this.
the
We're like
history,
this.
and I want to say he's on his 17th different teammate for the dozen.
I think Clemmer goes before me. I
Oh,
think
for sure.
me and Kirk, we're gonna be like this, Minifans for life. I think we're gonna have decent like knowledge gaps almost. Like I think maybe
Yeah.
I'll get some of the earlier celeb mashup music stuff, and he'll
Yep.
obviously dominate everything: movies, golf, sports.
You
I
know
think it's gonna be a
movies
good
though.
connection.
You know
More
movies.
recent movies, but Kirk knows like every fucking movie nominated for
Correct.
every Oscar. He's like
Yeah.
a true encyclopedia with that shit. I like a lot of the pop culture famous movies.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
I could be
definitely
humble
stuff
about
that you
my
know that he
movie
doesn't.
knowledge, but I think and I know Kirk would agree. Me and Kirk are better fits as teammates than Kirk and Clemmer, because and Clemmer knows that as well. Clemmer's knowledge is basically Kirk Jr.
Yeah.
Like it's all
It's
of the same thing Kirk knows.
but not
But I
everything
don't
that
know.
Kirk knows.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows all that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
And I
I
love
taught
Clemmer.
you.
He's a great teammate. He's my fellow honker. I'm not shitting on him, but he would admit the same. His knowledge with Kirk aligns a lot more than my knowledge with Kirk. But I'm
Yeah.
excited for the trio. It's something that nobody saw coming. Me and Kirk teaming up.
That's like Kirk being like, I taught you everything that you know, but not everything that I know.
Correct. I think
Yeah.
that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
That was From the Top Rope, Royal Rumble edition. We'll have to do another one of these for the Chamber, of course, leading into WrestleMania. It's fun to do these. It's fun to talk wrestling again.
Yeah, it is. And it's good that we have your attendance coming off the Rumble to go into From the Top Rope together.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the first time that we've watched a pay-per-view together in years. So many years. How many years? I don't know.
Probably, I mean, since
5 years?
WrestleMania? Like WrestleMania 35?
Probably.
Yeah,
I
because
think we
we haven't
watched.
gone to one.
Did we watch the COVID Mania on Zoom together? Didn't we do a show and we watched it on? Didn't we stream
The-
that? Were you part of that?
oh, you're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the AJ Styles Undertaker. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
That was
Yeah, I think
fun. I don't remember that a ton. COVID is such a fucking blur. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't even remember who was that. You and me. I think Nate was on it. Was Brandon Walker on
I
it?
want to say, was Clem on there?
Clem might have been on there. Was Doug's on there? Was Eddie on there?
I don't know. I don't
I think
remember
we had
much
a
of that.
bunch of guests. I think we had a bunch of people from the office that were like,
Nate.
Nate for sure, I think. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but the last time we watched a pay-per-view together was probably WrestleMania 35.
I know.
Because
We got to do it more often.
the Rumble, I was in Miami with everyone for the Rumble.
Do we have SummerSlam this year in MetLife?
I believe so. Yeah.
Maybe come down for SummerSlam. That'd be fun.
I might be into that.
That would be fun. All right.
Is it- but it's
we
2
don't have
nights.
to. It is 2 nights.
Yeah.
We don't have to make those plans now. It's a long ways away. It's in August.
up in the
But
air.
yeah, I like doing more of these From the Top Rope field trips, we can
Yeah.
call them.
Let's do that.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Shout out to all the people in the Dork Party. The Dork Party was a great time. Absolutely loved it. They welcomed me with open arms. If I wasn't welcomed into the Dork Party, there would be an issue. I mean, I'm a dork for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was From the Top Rope, and we'll catch you when we catch you.